Breaking news from David Moyes in his pre-match press conference ahead of that game against Brentford on Monday. Gonzo doesn't know what it is. Are you ready for it?
I am.
David Moyes has said, I've had really good conversations with the owners, with David Sullivan and Karren Brady. There's a contract there for me, and I'm the one deciding. I want to wait until the end of the season.
Crikey. That's depressing, isn't it?
He went on to say, I want to make sure everything's correct and that first and foremost we'll concentrate on this season and do the job. I've really enjoyed my 4 years here, and one way or another, I'll make sure I see my contract out. I've got to make sure that I think is the right thing for the club. Got to make sure that I think is the right thing for me and my family. At the moment, I've spoken to the board. I get on really well with them. I've had a fabulous 4 years. We've been talking about Europe and how you get to Europe in the first place is by being successful in the league. We'll sort it out, but I'm happy for it to wait.
That sounds like he's leaving. That sounds like he's leaving. That's my instant reaction to that. Family and it sounds like, I don't know, that does not sound like football talk, actually. That sounds like
I've had enough.
Leaving talk. It does. Really does. Wow. Okay. Wow. What do you think?
Initially, when I first seen it, just a headline just came up on my phone there. And for context, myself and Gonzo are recording other videos, and that's popped up in between recorded videos. I seen the headline, Moyes provides update on future. So I'm having a bit of this, clicked on it. It was on the One Football app, by the way, not sponsoring this video. It was on the One Football app. Headline came up, clicked on it. And when I read the first bit, which is, there's a contract there, I'm the one waiting. I thought that's interesting because you're the one that's been telling us for the last month you're going to sign a new contract, that the talks were ongoing and you were going to get it done and there wasn't going to be a problem. And now he's now claiming he's the one actually not signing it and there's a contract there for him from the board. Then, as you say, the more you speak or the more he speaks and the more I tell you what he's just said, it does sound like he's preparing that this will be the end of him at West Ham. That he's had 4 fantastic years, and
that's that sort of talk. Yes. A review. He's reviewing his time, isn't he? It's very different. It's very different. When he's got that agitation about him, and he's saying, "Well, hold on a second, I do this." He does speak of the past. He does. He absolutely says, "I got you your trophy," and if you think back to Prague, and West Ham fans never had it so good and stuff like that. But there's a tenacity to his tone. I think when he speaks that way, sounds like a resignation. I don't mean in terms of resignation letter, but he sounds resigned to something here. I wonder if there's an element of saving face in there as well. That maybe he might be referring to an old offer that was on the table, that maybe they're not quite so hurriedly pursuing that. So, you get that, like you're jumping before you push, like, your girlfriend at school. Not ever happened to me, but I'm just saying, you hear you're going to get dumped and you dump her first and all the rest of it, probably revealing a little bit too much there. But yeah, maybe there's a bit of that going on.
Do you think there's maybe
that's a weird team talk?
Do you think there's maybe like a mutual, like a conversation's already taking place over the last couple of weeks, and that they've decided that maybe the best way to go would be make all Moyes as one walking away, and what the West Ham could do for Moyes is basically you're not getting a new deal, but what we can do is let you control the narrative, which is you're the one walking away. You get to save face. We get our new manager. That way, none of us look silly.
That would be nice. No, it's not that. That would be nice, and clubs do that. The whole thing by mutual consent. We wish everyone the best for the future, and that someone's been sacked. That's not the I don't mean the West Ham way. That's not the Sullivan and Brady way. That's sack somebody, publicly announce you sacking somebody, and not let him travel back on the team coach and leave him stranded up in Wigan. That's the West Ham way. So that would seem.
Or sacking the manager and his assistant discovers he's been sacked via Sky Sports while he's at home, and his daughter rings him up and says, "Dad, you're right. Why? You've just been sacked, have I? Yeah, turn on Sky. It's there. It's on Sky Sports."
Yes.
And that was a West Ham legend as well, and Julian Dix.
Yeah, I think I like what you say, and I would like to think that everybody would operate in that fashion, because that's nice. But I don't think we are lovely, actually, in the way that we do that sort of stuff. So that would be a very big change of tack from West Ham to employ that sort of level of decency, I feel, actually. But yes, that would be. It would be nice for them to do that. I'm not entirely sure. The trouble is you paint yourself into a corner with that. So let's just say that West Ham lose, Brentford, draw against Nottingham Forest, lose against Burnley. Okay? Whatever.
Everton, yeah.
What did I say?
Nottingham Forest. We just got
Yeah.
beaten by them,
Oh, yeah. The meeting there. Yeah. Everton. They can't keep him. They have to sack him. And then this making yourself look lovely no longer applies, because I think then the truth is outed, isn't it? So I think it's a case of, look, we can allow you, if this is the case, okay, we can allow you to control the negative narrative and make it out that it's your decision, Moyesy. But if you lose, if you don't get a win in the next 3 games, you're sort of screwed anyway. We have to let you go.
I'll ask you straight. Do you believe him?
Do I believe Moyes? Not in
there's a contract there for me. Do you believe that?
I believe there's an element to the truth. I mean, this is the thing with lies. I think a lot of people think a lie is lie. No. There's a lot of lies in this life that carry an element of truth. That's what makes the lie believable, right? So I think there might have been a contract there, and he might be referring to what was under discussion in December, which was the form was good, and we're about to do the contract now, but we got January coming up. We're going to do it soon. They were both saying the contract is imminent, but it never got signed. So maybe, just maybe, when David was saying there's a contract on the table, he might be telling a half truth, which actually there was a contract on the table. Now it's all gone radio silent. There's no big urge from the club to get me to sign this now. Listen, we all know, it doesn't matter in any walk of life. When someone's keen and someone's keen to, it could be anything.
Except you in your earlier days trying to get a girlfriend, man.
Absolutely. But even then you could tell if someone's keen or not keen. You could tell if someone's keen and they want to buy a bloody chest of drawers off you on Facebook Marketplace. You can tell the difference between someone that's keen or the time waster, right? They're very, very clear. You know. So David Moyes will be able to tell that they don't want to buy his chest of drawers, is what I'm saying.
Well, I don't know. This guy pursued Yusuf En-Nesyri for a considerable large period of time when he made it quite clear he wasn't keen. You're
right, he doesn't pick up on a hint. Maybe, there you go. You're absolutely
I'm not coming to London. Yeah, but what happens? No, Dave, I'm not coming to, I don't want to move. I don't want to come to London.
My children just learned Spanish. They're really happy here. No, you want to come. You want to stay at the Moxie in Stratford. That's what you want to do. And they don't sponsor us anymore. But I think you're right. That's a really good counter argument. I don't know. Look, we're all playing guessing games. But what it doesn't sound, Geo, it doesn't sound right. Whether he's lying or whether it is a sort of long goodbye. There's something not quite right about this. This is not your normal standard managerial chit chat.
He's also changed it, right? Moyes has changed the terminology. Moyes has been the one that said, let's go through the timeline. There's 3 important bits of timeline here. At the start, Moyes, post Arsenal win, we are going to begin talks. Talks are ready to happen. A deal will get sorted. Don't worry about it. Then after the Bournemouth game, he said, well, the January transfer window, we're some way down the line, but we've cool talks, but we'll get back to it now because the January transfer window is finished. And now he said, there's a contract there for me to sign. That's changed. He was using terms like talks. Now he's changed it from talks to contract. He's changed the terminology. And I think what's interesting, there's two things here. First of all, he said, I've spoken to Brady and Sullivan. There's no mention of Noble or Steiding at all from David Moyes there. It's the Brady and Sullivan. But the other thing is, which is the other side, which is David Sullivan. That guy's been running his mouth for the last week, unofficially, under the radar. He's been talking to people about Moyes' future.
Yeah, for sure.
Not once has he mentioned a contract offer for David Moyes being there to sign. If anything, he's been doing the opposite. He's been reversing away from that talks. Moyes has said, talks have happened. It feels like David Sullivan's going, whoa, hang on a minute. We'll wait and see.
Now, what about this one? It's ringing in my head. I'm playing back what you've said in my head now. I've got to think what's best for the club. That's a strange phrase.
Well, I thought he was the best one. I thought he was the winner.
Yeah, that is that's right. That is a strange phrase, isn't it? That again, that is a reflective phrase. I've got to think what's best for the club.
It's the first time.
This is not the right language. Yeah, this is not.
It's the first time it feels like Moyes has
given up.
That and accepting that people aren't happy with him as manager, whereas before he's always been quite offensive in regards of his defence.
Yeah.
But actually, this one, it feels he's a bit gone. It does feel a little bit defeatist, which is I'm not everyone's cup of tea, and I'm gonna have to think about.
Well, I tell you what, though, he's the nice thing is maybe he would get a complete switch around because he's normally offensive in his words and defensive in his football. So now he's been a bit defensive in his words, so maybe we get a 5-0 win, we get some attacking football. They're all out there. Obama, Ings, Kudus, Bowen, Antonio. He's playing them all. He's going out on a high. Don't be surprised if he tries to do that. By the way, well, do be surprised.
Yeah, I mean, if we do, I would very much be surprised if we do get beat on Monday. You know, the first question that journalist is asking, which is, well, have you still got that contract offer, Mr. Moyes? Is that still there? Is it what's happening? There's a follow-up question.
Sorry, let me just jump in. David, Mr. Moyes, they probably have to say, but they can't say Moyes. Mr. Moyes, you indicated that you're probably likely to do what's best for the club. Do you still think it's best for the club, bearing in mind your losing run? I don't think I'll get a press pass.
Right. How do we get Moose involved? Can we get Moose some questions, please, to ask Mr. Moyes? No, it'll be a case of boss.
Yeah.
It's always difficult playing a striker like Ivan Toney, isn't it? Boss, you've had too long on the training ground. Or is it you're used to playing Thursdays and Sundays? Now you're not playing during the week. It must throw everything out, and there's probably a reason we struggle, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But anyway, a strange.
Yeah.
Very strange. There's different ways of coming at it, and like you're basically getting a live reaction from me and Gonzo here. I was reading it for pretty much the first time as I read it to Gonzo. I think what's going to be interesting off the back of this. It's what else comes out, because Moyes has said his bit and he's going to go away, hopefully on the training ground, getting ready for Monday night. He's going to disappear. We're not going to see or hear from Moyes until 6:30 on Monday night. I can guarantee you Sullivan's phone is off the hook right now, and his 100%. Inbox has just had 100%. Sullivan will be probably not even tuning into the press conference, just chilling there thinking, hey, 2 o'clock on a Friday, nearly clocking off time, I'm ready. I'm ringing his girlfriend, you ready? We're going out on the town, are you ready? Your mate's all ready? Right, we're good. And then all of a sudden it's just going to kick off and he's going to see what Moyes is saying. He's probably going to think, oh, nice one, Dave.
His girlfriend and his girlfriend's mates.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's always taking her mates out with
was
them.
She? Oh, right, I'll see.
Yeah, because of his personality, of course, his charm. He's always there with like her and 2 of her mates her age with nice figures and
it's expensive curry, I think, if he's taking everyone.
So Sullivan's personality woos them with his charm. That's all it is. But anyway, Friday he was probably chilling. Now his inbox is kicking off and he's got a situation on his hands and this is where the club, you feel like the right hand doesn't speak to the left hand a little bit, but actually it's almost a battle of narrative. And we had this with Allardyce and Sullivan, and it got to the point where David Sullivan was sat on Soccer AM on the Saturday morning before the game, talking about how basically slagging off Sam Allardyce live on TV. And Moyes is a lot politer than Sam Allardyce is, and he's very respectful. He's always been respectful to Sullivan and Brady, and he's called them really good owners and employers and stuff like that. And he's done the same again about how he's got a good relationship with the board. But Moyes is just taking control of the narrative, which he said, they've offered me a contract. I'm deciding. Well, now Sullivan's going to be fielding a lot of questions, which is quite simply, is this true? Have you given Moyes a contract? And I imagine very quickly in the next handful of hours, we're going to discover whether that's true or not.
Yes, it'll either be confirmed or it'll undermine him. Yeah. Completely.
Anyway, lots more to come on this. There's your update. If you enjoyed this video, please do drop a like on it. Subscribe to New Times Chat. Myself and Gonzo. Catch you in a bit.